Cottage sales in Canada just hit a 20-year low. But that's not the scary part. The scary part is that around Ottawa, some cottage owners are getting crushed, while others, they're barely feeling it. Ottawa Valley waterfront prices dropped almost 18%. But the big Rideau, well, it held up. And the Rideau Lakes, this is like farther out from the Ottawa area, like Northbrook, Cottage, Sharbot Lake, they actually moved higher. And parts of West Quebec are still showing strength. So the story is not cottages are crashing. That's too simple. The real story is more dangerous. The cottage market has seen a split. And if you're buying the wrong kind of cottage right now, you may think you're getting a discount when really you're buying a property that the next buyer may not want. That's the trap. You know, the dock looks beautiful, the price looks better, the dream still feels real, but behind the cottage, well, it could be bad financing, old septic, private road problems, weak rental rules, rising insurance, and a resale market that has simply disappeared. My name is Liam Swords. I've been in residential real estate since 2002. And over the past 24 years, I've sold over 1,000 homes. And I want to show you what's really happening in Ottawa's cottage market, summer of 2026. Because this is not just about cottages. This is about what happens when buyers stop chasing the dream and start doing the math. So let's start with the numbers. The Ottawa Valley prices were down 17.9%. The median waterfront price moved from $657,500 in 2024 down to $540,000 in 2025. This is not a minor adjustment. This is a major reset in one of the cottage markets closest to Ottawa. This is where people need to stop saying cottages always hold their value. Some do, but some don't. The details matter. A nearby market contrast. So Rideau Lakes, ironically, is up 1.5% year over year. And the Rideau Lakes, like this is the area, Cottage, Sharbot Lake, well, that's up about 8.5%. When we look at the west side of Quebec, Wakefield is up 5.3%. So the main point here is there's no single Ottawa cottage market. Different areas are behaving completely differently. That is what buyers and sellers need to understand. Let's take a look at the 4 different cottage markets around Ottawa. The correction market. So this would be like the Ottawa Valley, pandemic buyers rushed in really quickly and bought these properties. Now these prices are being tested. Properties with weak fundamentals, they're getting absolutely crushed. This is where the market is saying, show me the value. Do not just show me the dock and the sunset. Market number 2, the stability market. So this would be like the Rideau Lakes, just outside Smith Falls. Better access from Ottawa, stronger year-round appeal, deeper buyer pool, more established demand. See, not every cottage market is falling apart. Some areas still have real demand because the fundamentals are better. Market number 3, the affordability market. So this is the Rideau Lakes and Tweed. These are further outside of Ottawa. So Northbrook, Cottage, Arden, and Sharbot Lake. Roughly, 2 hours or so from Ottawa, depending on where you are. Buyers are looking here because more established cottage areas become just too expensive. This is where people can get tempted by lower price point. The price can look far better out there, but farther out there doesn't automatically mean better value. You have to be careful. And market number 4, the Quebec side. Chelsea, Wakefield, Val-de-Meaux, La Pêche. We have a cottage in Maniwaki, so I follow that market quite closely as well. Over there, some cautions. Taxes are different. Financing can be different. Language and municipal process can be different. Rental rules can be different. Insurance inspections need to be understood. See, a lot of buyers look across the river on the Quebec side and think, wow, they found the deal. Maybe they did. But you need to understand the rules before you fall in love with the view. So let's break it all down. Why the pandemic cottage buyer got crushed? Well, in 2020 and 2021, people were buying emotionally. Residential properties in Ottawa and even in the cottage country. The downtown, well, it was empty. People were working from home. Travel was restricted. Like our independence got stripped away. What do families do? Kids are only so young for so long. They want to make memories. So they considered a cottage and they jumped. Families wanted space, trees, water, privacy, and an escape. Areas that people chased, well, Calabogie, White Lake, Lanark, Rideau Ferry. On the Quebec side, Wakefield, Chelsea. The key mistake here is buyers stopped asking, is it worth it? They started asking, how fast do we need to buy this? And should we go in unconditional? That is a major red flag. When buyers stop underwriting the property and start chasing emotionally, it's not going to end well. So what did people do? They pulled equity from their Ottawa homes. They used HELOCs. They took on second mortgages. They assumed short-term rental income would carry the covering costs. They bought older cottages with deferred maintenance. And a lot of issues with these cottages had older septics, tired electrical, old plumbing, questionable insulation, private roads with issues, shoreline and waterfront repairs, dock replacement. See, the cottage dream is real. I get it. But a lot of the math was built on cheap money and emotion. The new 2026 cottage buyer, like right now, well, the buyer's different. They're asking, can I insure this? Can I finance it? What's the road maintenance in the winter? Is it actually 4-season? What is the septic condition like? Can I legally rent it out? Was this previously listed, canceled, or just relaunched? If I need to sell this in 3 years, who's the buyer? See, a house in Ottawa has a deeper buyer pool, supply and demand. There's a lot more demand for property in Ottawa than there is for cottage property. A cottage is discretionary. No one really needs a cottage. They want one. When the economy feels uncertain, which we're in right now, discretionary buyers disappear fast. They don't usually announce it. They just stop booking showings. That is how the cottage market freezes. So you might be thinking, what are the reasons why one cottage is harder to sell than the other? Well, there's the payment shock. Cheap money covered by bad math. Pandemic era rates made cottage ownership feel easy. Today, carrying costs are much harder to justify. Renewals are painful for people who are stretched. Kitchen table questions owners are asking. Do we use it enough? Can we keep carrying this? Should we sell this before more inventory hits the market? Are we throwing good money after bad? The dock looks beautiful in July, but the payment shows up every single month. Reason number 2, the rental income story. Well, a lot of buyers were sold the idea that the cottage would simply pay for itself. Sure, you buy it, you enjoy, 4 or 5 weekends a year and just rent it out the rest. You do the math, you look at the spreadsheet, no problem. Rent it out when you're not using it. Sounds great. The reality, some municipalities restrict short-term rentals. Some require licensing. Neighbors may complain. Insurers may care. But the big thing, it's a ton of work, right? Like, who's going to flip the property? Meaning, like, change the sheets and make sure it's clean and stuff. Yes, you can pay. You can pay for anything you want in life, right? But what does that cost? And what is the net profit at the end of the day? The math just wasn't adding up. If your cottage only works financially with the perfect Airbnb income, you don't own a cottage. You own a business with a fair amount of risk attached to it. Reason number 3, maintenance is not optional. A cottage is not a condo. There's no concierge, there's no property manager, there's no superintendent, there's no reserved fund quietly fixing things. As a cottage owner, you're responsible for everything, right? Septic, well, pumps, dock, decks, roof, trees, ice damage, rodents, propane, waterfront work, private roads, snow clearing, water treatment, winterization, and I could go on and on. Those costs have increased, like labor's gone up, material costs more, insurance, fuel costs, trades. See, people picture the dock, the coffee, the kids swimming, and the friends coming over. But the cottage doesn't just exist in July. You own that 12 months of the year. In the winter, January, February. February is when the fantasy gets expensive. Reason number 4, the lifestyle change. See, in 2021, remote work made cottage feel practical. Now, 2026, many workplaces are hybrid again. Not always 5 days a week, but enough to change the math and your routine. If you need to be in Ottawa Tuesday to Thursday, a cottage 2.5 hours away is not really a second home. It's a great weekend property, but weekends are harder than people expect. There's traffic, kids' sports, family schedules, birthdays, friends canceling, work spilling into Friday. Suddenly, the place you thought you'd use every second weekend becomes a place you visit 5 or 6 times a year. So my advice for sellers, do not price off of 2021. That market's gone. Accept it. Buyers today, they're not desperate. They have choice. They're not waiving every condition just because the sun set. If you overprice, the market will expose you. It may ignore you. You might not even get any showings. A buyer might not call your agent and say, we think you're overpriced. See, this is what happens. A buyer probably doesn't even call your agent and say, we think the property's overpriced. They just save the listing, watch it sit, wait for the price reduction, and then use the time on market against you. So if you're a seller, here's the priorities that I recommend you consider. Price matters first. Presentation matters. Lake-specific details matter a lot. Property condition, rental rules, access, septic and well documentation. If the property has issues, don't hide behind them. Control the story. Buyers will find the weakness anyways. They always do. Once trust is gone, the listing's in trouble. If you're a buyer right now and you're considering buying a cottage, this might be the best opportunity in years, but only with discipline. Do not chase the lowest price. Buy the strongest fundamentals. What I mean by that, look for good access, clean title, clear water sources, proper septic, usable and nice, clean waterfront, manageable maintenance, year-round potential, future buyer demand. See, the deal is not always the lowest price. The deal is the property that still has buyers when the market gets quiet. The due diligence checklist. I put together a checklist. Be sure to check it out down below. It's a PDF, no opt-in, my gift to you. So take that with you. It's just an easy sort of checkbox as you start looking at properties of things to be aware of. This will be a helpful tool as you go on tours and looking at property, giving you some perspective on some major components of buying cottage/waterfront property to be aware of. Why this matters for Ottawa real estate? Well, the cottage market is a warning sign, not because Ottawa's crashing. Ottawa's residential market is still more balanced than most Canadian markets, but the same buyer psychology is showing up. It's showing up in condos, overpriced townhomes, homes with deferred maintenance, poorly presented listings, properties needing too much work, listings that are still priced like it was 2021. Those buyers, they're gone. They're just pickier. The easy market is dead. The cottage market is showing us what happens when buyers become selective. They don't forgive bad pricing. They don't rush just because inventory exists. And they get really skeptical with anything questionable going on. So to wrap it all up, Canada's cottage market is hitting a 20-year low in sales volume. Does not mean people stopped wanting cottages. They still want the lake. They still want the quiet. They still want family memories, but they no longer want the bad math. That's the correction. Not just a price correction, a reality correction. The fantasy got repriced. The easy money disappeared. And now the cottage has to stand on its own fundamentals. If you're thinking about buying a cottage around Ottawa, as I shared, I put together a cottage due diligence checklist below covering septic, shoreline, road access, insurance, rental rules, financing, maintenance. Be sure to check it out because you fall in love with the dock, but you need to understand what you're actually buying. And if you own a cottage and you're wondering whether to sell, don't wait until the market gives you the answer the hard way. Get really clear on the numbers. Look at the comparisons. What has sold in the last 60 or 90 days? What's on the market presently? If you were a buyer today, what would you pay for that property? And price for the market we're in, not the market we had 3 years ago. I want to thank you for watching. As always, my goal on this channel is to keep you informed and help you make smart real estate decisions in Ottawa and surrounding areas. Thanks, and we'll catch you on the next video.